我们以热烈掌声欢迎本日莅临的贵宾，中华民国总统蔡英文蔡总统。
We welcome today's distinguished guest, President of Republic of China, 蔡英文。司法院大法官107年度国际学术研讨会正式开始。
The 2018 International Conference of Taiwan Constitutional Court officially begins.
欢迎各位大法官、各位来宾，以及来自加拿大、蒙古国、美国及法国的贵宾，莅临由司法院与法官学院为庆祝释宪70周年所举办的司法院大法官107年度国际学术研讨会。本次研讨会主题为宪法法院与人权保障。
Honorable Justices, distinguished guests, respectively from Canada, Mongolian Republic, the United States, and France. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the 2018 International Conference of Taiwan Constitutional Court, organized by the Judicial Yuan and the Judges Academy to celebrate the 70th anniversary of the constitutional interpretation. The theme of this conference is Constitutional Court and Human Rights Protection. 首先，让我们以热烈掌声欢迎今天研讨会主持人、司法院院长许宗力先生为我们致辞。
Now let us welcome today's host of this conference, President of the Judicial Yuan, Honorable Chief Justice Xu Dongli, for the opening remarks.
Honorable Justices, dear guests coming from all the way from various countries for this conference, Minister Tsai of the Ministry of Justice, President Zheng of the Supreme Court, and President Zhou of Judges Academy, Presidents from High Courts and District Courts, and distinguished scholars and experts, friends of media, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. Welcome to the 2018 International Conference of Taiwan Constitutional Court. It's our great honor to invite President Tsai to celebrate this significant event together with us. We appreciate President Tsai for sparing her time to attend and make this academic conference even more meaningful. And let's give a warm welcome to President Tsai. Now may I briefly introduce the distinguished guests coming all the way from various countries. So the first one is Honorable former Chief Justice of Supreme Court of Canada, Chief Justice Beverly McDaugherty. And the second one is Justice Solongo. She's Justice of the Constitutional Court of Mongolia. And the third one, Professor Tom Ginsburg, Professor of University of Chicago. And Professor Richard Albert, he's Professor Professor of Law of the University of Texas at Austin. And so the final one is Professor Dr. Andrew Janchevsky. Did I pronounce it right? Okay. So he's Professor of Middlesex University from France. Okay, good. So Taiwan is a state with stable democracy and devoted to human rights protection. The justice of the Judicial Yuan stand for the Constitutional Court of Taiwan, with the same functions as those of other constitutional courts in the world. Judicial review of constitutionality is the most important power exerted by our justice. Our justice, through interpreting the Constitution, realize the text endowed by the Constitution to protect the fundamental rights of individuals and maintain the constitutional order of the nation. the meaning of the Constitution guides and adequately regulates the exertion of the state power, thereby realizing the protection of human rights and the stability of the constitutional order. The justices embody and highlight the core values of protecting human rights, demonstrating Taiwan's achievement as one of the free and democratic states in the world. This year, 2018, is the 17th anniversary of our Constitutional Court. In order to celebrate the milestone of this important judicial institution, the Judicial Yuan and the Justice Academy host this international academic conference. So I'm pleased to invite you, distinguished guests, to share our happiness. Some constitutional courts may have histories longer than 70 years. However, the 70th anniversary of the Constitutional Court has two important meanings for us: constantly pursuing better institutions to protect the rights of the people. First, the 70th anniversary is an occasion to review the achievements so far, including the trajectory through which the justices have devoted themselves to the development of this important institution. Second, the 70th anniversary is an occasion to initiate a significant transformation of our constitutional interpretation. The Judicial Yuan has, with a broad overview, has built a brand new institution to protect the rights of the people. The Judicial Yuan has proposed a revision of the Constitutional Interpretation Procedure Act, changing its title to Constitutional Litigation Act, and sent such a proposal to the Legislative Yuan for its review and legislation. The proposed Constitutional Litigation Act seeks to build a more efficient institution for constitutional review, adopting an open and transparent trial procedure, and provide more comprehensive protection of human rights. And after the Constitutional Litigation Act is approved by the Legislative Yuan and enacted by our President, the constitutional interpretation will no longer be proceeded through the current mode of deliberative meetings. Instead, it will become completely judicialized. Justice will form a constitutional court to adjudicate cases and render judgments, as the same as the procedure in many other countries that establish constitutional courts. The Constitutional Litigation Act will, in the meantime, establish the institution for the constitutional review on court judgments, including such exertion of the judicial power in the scope of the judicial review conducted by the justice. This change will further improve and make comprehensive our protection of human rights and the institution of constitutional interpretation. The protection of human rights is a universal value that crosses national and disciplinary borders. The constitutional code of every democratic state that respects the rule of law and takes the protection of human rights as its duty. The justices of our country are no exception. This international academic conference chooses constitutional codes and the protection of human rights as its theme. We invited the former Honorable Chief Justice Beverly McLaughlin from Canada, Justice Solongo and Justice Genzolik from Mongolia, and Professor Tom Ginsberg and Professor Richard Albert from the United States, and Professor Andrew Jemczewski from France. And these distinguished justices and scholars will deliver their speeches on the topics that relate to constitutional codes, laws, and the protection of human rights. Their speeches will enable us to understand the trends of protecting human rights in other jurisdictions from the perspectives of comparative law. We also invited distinguished jurists, including justices, international and domestic legal professionals, to share with us their research on the emerging and important topics such as the boundaries of constitutional amendment, the protection of the rights of the disadvantaged individuals, and the latest development of the right to information privacy. As these distinguished speakers have considerable experiences and valuable insights, this conference will surely enrich our understanding of the protection of fundamental rights and constitutional law. We also have invited the President of the Constitutional Court of Lithuania, Dr. Zalimas. Unfortunately, he canceled his visiting at the last minute due to some unexpected and irresistible reasons. So, last but not least, I thank President Tsai for coming to this conference and for her expectations and wishes for the judicial year. I also wish this International Academic Conference a successful conference. Thank you, everyone.
谢谢许院长致辞，请院长就座。